Hey guys, we're on day 3 of our week 13 homework now. On our first problem, again, starred. So we need to make sure we know how to add and subtract fractions or mixed numbers. Jeremy cleans his house in 2.5 hours. Hunter cleans his house in 3.25 hours, or 3 1/4 hours. How much longer does it take Jeremy to clean his house than Hunter? Let's read that again. How much longer does it take Jeremy to clean a house than Hunter? Well, it looks like Hunter takes longer to clean than Jeremy, so maybe that's backwards. But let's look at it, okay? Jeremy cleans his house in 2.5 hours. Hunter cleans his house in 3 1/4 hours. Okay, we need to know how much longer it's going to take him. So we're going to have to flip our paper over because, again, they didn't give us any room here. So I'm going to flip this paper over. 2.5 and 3 1/4. So I'm going to say 3 1/4 minus 2 1/2. First thing you should notice, they have different denominators. So we're going to have to rename. Keeping my 3. Keeping my 2. We're going to have new numbers on bottom. So a common multiple for 2 and 4 is 4. So I'm going to keep that 4. I'm just going to rename this bottom one. How do you get from 2 to 4? Well, 2 times 2 is 4. So I'm going to have to say 1 times 2 to get 2. Okay? All right. Now let's look. I can't say 1 minus 2 on my fractions. So we're going to have to rename. So I'm coming over here to rename. We're going to have to borrow from him. This is going to become a 2. So I'm borrowing from the 3. So I'm going to have to add that whole number that I borrowed. And I'm going to use 4/4 because we already have a 4 on bottom. So that's going to become 2, and that's 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. 4 stays the same. So now I have 2 and 5/4. The other one already has everything we need, so I'm just bringing him over. And now I can subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3, so that's 3/4. 2 minus 2 is nothing, so it takes him 3/4 hours longer, or 3/4 of an hour longer. Now, some of us don't like the regrouping thing, so I'm just going to quickly tell you this. If you had 3 1/4 minus 2 2/4, you could turn them into improper fractions. It's just going to be a little extra work on the end. You could say 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So you could do 13/4. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So that would be 10/4. Well, this one might not take extra work. 13 minus the 10, that's 3. And then 4 stays the same, so 3/4 of an hour. So either way, we got the same answer. So I would take either way that you chose to do it. So I'm going to flip my paper back over. And I'm going to write down my 3/4. 3/4 hour. Okay? All right, your next one's order of operations. A lot of things going on. It's also starred. You have addition, parentheses, subtraction, multiplication, parentheses. So remember, this goes back to our PEMDAS or GMDAS, however you want to say it. Okay, the P means we have to do the parentheses first. So I'm looking in my parentheses though, and I have a subtraction and I have a multiplication. So we need to do the multiplication first because multiplication comes before subtraction. So that's going to be 9 plus, we're keeping that 8, minus 2 times 2 is 4. Okay? Still have parentheses, so I can't go anywhere yet. So we got to do 9 plus 8 minus 4 is 4. That's where we got this 4 from. And then we're going to add. 9 plus 4 is 13. So your answer is 13. Okay. Let's go to our next problems. I'm folding again. You have 2,430 divided by 5. So, timed out on me. I'm going to put the first number, remember the first number always goes in the bracket, so I'm putting 2,430 here. My 5 goes outside. Multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. I'm going to stop there. The 5 is not going into the 2. He's got to go into the 24. So I'm going to say that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be 4 because 25 is too big, so I'm going to have to stop here. So it's going to be 4. I'm going to put a 4 above the 4 and subtract my 20. That's going to be a 4. Next step is to bring down my 3. And we can't go over 43, so I'm looking down my list. And there's 40. I'm 45. Can't use 45, so I'm back up to 40. That's going to be 8 times. So I'm going to put an 8, subtract my 40. And that is a 3. Bringing down that last number, that's a 0. And 5 goes into 30 6 times. There it is. So 6 minus 30 is 0. So your answer is 486. And the last one we have on this day, we have 980 divided by 10 to the power of 3. Remember, this number is getting smaller. So if I look at it, the decimal and a whole number is right here behind it, right? And our 3 tells us to move the decimal 3 places to the left. So let's get another ink pen here, a different color. Maybe that'll make it more visual. We got 1, 2, 3. So my new decimal is right here. So your answer, I would take both of these, would either be 980 thousandths, or, it's just a placeholder telling us this is a thousandths place, but 98 hundredths is equal to 980 thousandths. So I would take either answer. Okay. Alrighty, have a great day.